Hi. The liar for today is Donald Trump. Trump is lying to you by omission every time he opens his mouth. Trump's tax cuts are an act of treason against everyone in the United States. You may have more in your paycheck, you might get a larger refund, but you're still being robbed by our enemies who own the Federal Reserve. Let's look at the Constitution. In Article 1, Section 8, Clause 5, we, the authorities, gave our government servants the power to coin money. It says, Congress shall have the power to coin money and regulate the value thereof. We did not give Congress the power to take bribes and sell the power to coin money to our enemies who own the Federal Reserve, who turn around and charge us interest on our own money. That's the reason for taxes. We're paying interest to our enemies on money that belongs to us. Donald Trump knows this. He's not as stupid as he acts. He's just an actor who reads a script given to him by the people who own the Federal Reserve and who own the Bar Association and who own the TV networks. There's 130 million fools who are either for Donald Trump or for Democrats. Democrats and Republicans and attorneys are all enemies of we the people. And we have 130 million fools who believe what they say and vote for our enemies. Do you understand that if Congress issued our money, nobody would have to pay any taxes at all? If Congress issued our money the same way the Federal Reserve does, there would be no debt. Whenever they wanted something for military, for welfare, to build a wall, for anything at all, infrastructure, all they have to do is print the money at no cost to anyone. That sounds bizarre, but that's what the Federal Reserve does. They print the money out of nothing, that you have to pay them principal for money that cost them nothing, that they did not have, that they just conjured up out of thin air, and that your labor pays that debt, plus interest on money that's supposed to belong to you and me. So when Donald Trump cuts taxes, he's making you pay our enemies with your labor. That's why after the Federal Reserve causes inflation and jacks the price of houses up from about, 10 or 15,000 back in the 50s to now anywhere from $300 to $1 million for just a place to live, for a roof over your head. This is causing people to work two jobs. It's causing husbands and wives to work and put their children in daycare so the government can educate your children for you. It takes away from you the ability to teach your children what's going on in this world. It gives the government control over them. And it has control over your lives. Donald Trump is destroying your lives by making you work a lot harder than you should have to. You can fix this by understanding that we 300 million people are the authorities over our enemies who work in our government. We can fire all of them, abolish the Federal Reserve, stop this robbery, restore our freedom, and work a lot less. We can bring the price of houses back to something that's reasonable. In today's economy, these $500,000 houses should be available for about $100,000. A typical starter house that you might pay $200,000, $250,000 for, you should be able to get for $50,000 or less. We can reverse this inflation. We can stop all the hours that we're working. We can let one parent stay home with the children. We don't have to put up with this nonsense that our criminal politicians have foisted upon us. You have the authority to fire the government if you talk to each other and assert yourselves as the highest authority in this country. Nobody talks about that. Everybody talks as though they're subservient to our government servants. That's the brainwashing that the Federal Reserve's TV networks has done to you. Every day on TV, you will see cops, lawyers, and politicians referred to as the authorities. They aren't the authorities. They're government servants. You and me are the authorities. The 300 million of us are the highest authority in the country. Not Donald Trump. He's just a servant. All he really is an actor reading scripts for the owners of the Federal Reserve and lying to you every time he opens his mouth. Can you learn that? It's a pretty simple thing to learn. Every time a Democrat, Republican, or attorney speaks, they're lying to you. That's not hard to learn, is it? Can you stop supporting these criminals? Can you think for yourselves and think that it's your country and you have to be the one managing it? You can talk to honest people who are not Democrats, Republicans, or attorneys, and we can put ourselves back in control. We don't have to take this crap from our politicians one day longer. Open your mouths, unite, assert yourselves as the authorities, and tell all of our politicians to go to hell. Tell them they're fired. Talk about doing that. That's how you can have your freedom back. By voting for Democrats and Republicans and attorneys, you're never going to get your freedom back. Can you understand that? You know that you lost your freedom in 1913 when they created the Federal Reserve? It made you work a hell of a lot harder than you should have to work to pay debt that shouldn't exist, because all of that debt is fraud. Every penny of it. Taxes, mortgages, and mortgage interest are all fraud by the banks. I'm not going to stop to explain all of that. If you ask questions, and if enough people ask questions, maybe I'll tell you. There's a lot of other videos out there that explain how mortgages and mortgage interest are all fraud. If you're paying a mortgage, that should make you angry. It's not too hard to learn. Take a look around. Learn what our government servants are doing to we the authorities, lying to us every single time they speak. Stop listening to them. Unite and fire them. Thanks for watching.